Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Maya Pasillas, and I'm sitting here with
Quentin Powers.
And we are coming to you live from the very familiar Tisch Loveless Court, where the Kalamazoo Hornets are set to face off against the Olivet Comets in an MIAA conference matchup game. So in terms of MIAA play, both teams are in very similar shoes, you would say, right?
Yeah, definitely. And both teams this season kind of struggling to get some wins, and both of them unable to find their stride as of recent. But right now, one team sitting at 0-6 in conference play. The other one, I think, 1-4. Kalamazoo coming off a win against Adrian, and now recently just coming off a loss at Calvin. So both teams right now looking for a win today, and it's pretty equal matchup statistically, Maya. I don't know if you have anything more to say on that.
Yeah, no, you kind of hit it on the nose. As you said, Kalamazoo 1-4, and you're 100% correct, coming off that loss against Calvin. So a lot of improvements to be had, but then, you had that Adrian game, and you were looking at it, and you were like, okay, this Kalamazoo team is kind of on the come-up, right? Kind of clean up their play in that game. Olivet looking for their first MIAA conference play win, so that's something to look out for tonight. Now, these two teams have quite a bit of history, okay? Their last matchup ended 70-59 in a Kalamazoo victory, but considering their overall history, Olivet has actually won more against the Hornets than they have lost, right? Their record overall sits 16-11, so 16 wins for the Comets and 11 losses for the Hornets. So, it's kind of like you look at recent history, it's been back and forth, really more favoring Olivet's side. But then when you look specifically at conference play this season, very, very similar teams, and because of that, it's going to be very hard, right? We talked about small nuances that may make the difference. I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, and some small nuances. If we're looking at the stat sheet just in particular, both teams have very similar field goal percentages from the three and from the inside and all around the court. But I think the difference maker in this one is going to be rebounds. Kalamazoo has done a pretty great job at kind of cutting that rebound margin down, getting as many as they can, and Olivet has struggled in that aspect, especially in conference play. So if Kalamazoo wants to pull off the win, they're going to have to stay strong on rebounds like they always do. And Olivet today, if they want to try to secure this win, they got to stay strong in the paint against Vanderstelt, get as many rebounds as they can, and keep their field goal percentage as high as they can. They're coming off a game where they shot pretty well. It was a loss at the end of the day, but overall, a good shooting night as a team for the Comets. So, interesting matchup today, both coming off a loss, wanting to prove something in general here at the Hornets Stadium. So, I'm real interested to see how it's going to go. It should be a good game.
Yeah, and I got something new for you, all right? I want you to pick out one player from the Hornets that maybe you're really going to pay extra attention to today. I'll start it off. Someone that I've been noticing really making an impact in these past couple games, more so throughout the season till now, would be probably Taylor Dinda. So really, really excited to see what her stat sheet looks like tonight. I feel like she is a playmaker in all the right ways. You're seeing her assist game go up, her point game go up. So very excited to see what she does today.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you there. Dinda had a really great shooting night at Calvin, even though it was a loss. And for me personally, I think we got to watch Vanderstelt. Vanderstelt's got size, and 3.5 blocks a game right around there is a number to not ignore. And I think she's going to have a pretty good time against this Comets team, scoring-wise and defensively as well.
Alrighty, yeah. Well, we're going to have about 4 quarters to continue talking about it. With that, we'll hand the broadcast over to our on-court announcer to give us a national anthem as well as starting lineups.
All right, there you have our starting lineups. And Olivet running a similar lineup they have all year. You're going to want to keep an eye on Kinsley Hatfield today. The only senior on this Olivet team, and she's done a pretty good job scoring-wise and leading her team to a couple of victories.
Yeah, like you said, Hatfield about averaging 11.8 points per game, so definitely someone to keep an eye on.
So Kalamazoo is going to get the tip. Robertson trying to find Vanderstelt in the paint, get an early start, and passes it back out to reset the offense. Hogan on the outside, cuts in, has a lane, goes up for the layup, gets her own rebound, scrambles Dinda for the three, no good there. But again, another rebound for the Hornets, getting that shot clock reset. Moore on the outside, gets the screen. Vanderstelt backing down, but Hogan calls for it. Now they have to get a bucket here with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Vanderstelt gets an opening, and that one's no good. It's close, though.
Yeah, really important things to highlight, though, right? Really good ball movement, moving all around the court, and then finding those lanes, finding those open channels, something really good to look at.
And it's going to be a miss there from Ava Lord. Hogan now keeping the tempo up, finds Vanderstelt. Vanderstelt looking around, finds Robertson. Robertson passes out. Moore with the three, and it's good.
Yeah, you cannot give Moore that much time. I mean, she really had the time and energy to kind of let it off as if she was in practice, right? Really set her feet, kind of set everything in motion. It was bound to fall in for that three.
And hand down, man down there. No one on Moore. So now Hatfield on the inside gets swatted by Vanderstelt. So Common's still going to keep possession of the ball. We have sub and Drew Allen is coming in for Madeline Burtis.
Yeah, Vanderstelt good on the block, but, you know, took the deflection out.
Oh, and a mishap there for the Comets. Hogan now finds Robertson. Open shot, a nice easy lay. Robertson early here, and so Olivet going to have to call a timeout real early.
Yeah, and you might be surprised to see that, but I actually agree with that timeout call. It's just, you know, the Hornets really setting the tempo. They're very, very calm and collected right now, taking their time, setting their feet, passes are clean, and then you kind of seen those easy little mishaps for the Comets on the opposite side of the court, right? They try to do like a quick catch and shoot, right, when putting in the inbound, and then they kind of lost the handle. Hornets take it over and then go for two real quick. So very, very quick movements for the Hornets, but they're clean, they're calm. So it's almost like subtle, something definitely the Comets kind of want to stop right now and make sure that the Comets are in the right headspace, because like I said, a little bit of miscues very early on that you want to fix now.
Yeah, and the intensity for Olivet on defense is a little bit low. So Peter Sabiti, head coach that I actually know personally, he coached me quite a bit actually back in the day at Aquinas College, where I used to go to a lot of different camps as a kid. He's a great guy, and so pretty new coach for this Olivet team. Takes the timeout, and they're back at it. So here are the Comets. Hogan pressuring up top on Lord. Lord's going to get the screen from Hatfield. Gets a little bit of an opening, finds the lane, and a nice layup, finger roll off the backboard.
And that is the outcome you want to see as a head coach coming out of a timeout. Very quick movements to the rim. Lord, easy, swift movements to get those two.
And Dinda passes it to more and more to Robertson. Robertson finds the cut. Dinda, though, double teamed. Olivet's going to get the steal. Drew Allen with it. To the outside, now to the end of Hatfield. And Hatfield and one. Makes it look easy. All the confidence in the world. And you'd expect that from the senior.
Yeah, and I'd also expect that foul call, right? Moore coming in a little bit strong. She's kind of seen her flap her arm, and then you just make a little bit too much contact. And there's your and one.
And they're going to drop the first one. So now Hogan with it. 1 point lead for the Hornets in this first quarter. Robertson back to the outside. Hogan thinking maybe about shooting it. Dinda gets the screen. Robertson looks inside, makes the move. A little bit of contact, grabs their own rebound, and then it's stolen. But somehow the Hornets hold on, and now they don't. Ball's all over the place. Hatfield open on the other end, and that's an easy layup. Ball's all over the place.
Yeah, very, very. I mean, I don't even know how to really describe those last couple events there, but it was just a lot of back and forth. You had a lot of kind of picks into their bounces, and then you got it back and forth. Like, there's really nothing more you could say there. A little messy from both sides, and then Olivet comes out on top.
100%, and now Hornets going to want to respond. So, Robertson got it here, tries to find Vanderstel by the sloppy pass. So, Comets now get to take advantage of it, but another sloppy pass back and forth. So,
yeah,
Hornets get bailed out.
Right there. I mean, they're trading. They're just trading little mishaps back and forth.
And Dinda, deep three, drains it, no hesitation.
The Comets gotta tread lightly. You cannot let Dinda get comfortable at the 3 line. Dinda can get very comfortable with that catch and shoot.
And Dinda coming off a great shooting game. He's gonna have all the confidence in the world today. So now the Comets driving inside. Ooh, and a little too handsy from Robertson. So Alexis Woodbeck is gonna get the foul.
Yeah, and Woodbeck trying to kind of repeat a play that Ava Lord made earlier, right? Kind of get it off the finger roll. Does get the call at the end, so does have an opportunity to score for this Olivet team.
And a team that's dominated by freshmen. They've got a good future ahead of them. And a lot of times getting those freshmen a lot of confidence out on the court can really benefit your squad and over time make you a really experienced team. So Woodbeck, after the first miss, gets the second one, and now we've got Josie Cook out there.
Well, we talked about the timeout they took very early on into this game, right? Well, this is a very nice outcome out of that timeout. You said that defensively a little quiet was Olivet. Well, maybe they were just blaming it on the Sunday afternoon, right? Excuse me, Saturday afternoon. Even I'm thinking ahead. And sometimes you just got to take a moment and wake up, and it kind of looks like they have.
Definitely here, and so we're all tied up at 8. Morris on the top. Wilkes has got it, just got subbed in. Moore now trying to give Hogan the screen. Hogan doesn't need it, takes it inside. She wants the foul. Now the Comets on the push. Goes up for the floater, but Allen unable to drain it.
Yeah, Allen coming in a little too strong, and then the pass right there by Dinda, just a little too outside.
And Burtis gets the tip, so Hornets are going to keep the ball, but their pace is slowed. So Hogan now, 27 seconds on the shot clock, has got all the time in the world. Wilkes at the top of the key, lets it fly. It's no good, and you know, Wilkes just coming back off an injury. Missed the Adrian game where Kalamazoo was victorious. A great game, the last one on this court that we had the pleasure to commentate.
Yeah, that was a great game. And even here, we talked about the slower tempo that Kalamazoo is playing. Something you're not very familiar with when you watch the Kalamazoo women's team play. They're usually very, very quick. Defensively, they seem to be working pretty fast, but offensively taking their time.
And Hatfield with the 3 doesn't make it, and now the Hornets going to be called for another foul here.
And you've seen the frustration earlier from Hogan when she didn't get the call on the other side of the court. Right here, very similar play, a little bit more contact, draws the call.
And so now we've got Kaylee Bush at the line. That first one is going to drop for Bush. Bush has also had a pretty good season aside Hatfield. Both of them kind of going back and forth when they need some points on the board. Bush does miss the second. Hogan now on the push, and a nice layup. Really takes advantage of the Comets.
And Hogan just really knows how to control her speed and power. She was coming in hard and still was able to softly lay it off.
Okay, so an offensive foul on Kaylee Bush in the paint. Just got a little too physical on the push, so an offensive foul gives it back to Kalamazoo. So Vanderstel at the top to Dinda. Dinda back to Wilkes. Vanderstel trying to find the cut, has to reset. Now Wilkes finds Vanderstel, but just a little too far in front. It was open, but just not quite there.
Yeah, and I'm still getting used to this slower play from the Hornets, but it seems very intentional, like they're planning out the rest of this game.
Exactly, and there's been trouble during this season with turnovers for both of these teams. And so Kalamazoo slowing down that pace might give them opportunity to really dial in and focus on some accuracy with their passes and making some buckets. So now Hatfield on the inside gets blocked by Vanderstel, but she seals it right back. Goes up for the layup. Hatfield misses it though. And so Vanderstel giving it up court to Hogan. Hogan finds Wilkes on the inside, and Wilkes gets hit a little too hard from Burtis, and she's going to be called for the foul on the floor.
Yeah, it's just like you said, Burtis really kind of stepping into the charge. She noticed a little too late that she was coming in too fast, and that's going to draw the call.
And so referees are talking it over. I believe something about the shot clock or who the foul is from. We've had a lot of shot clock issues here. I say it almost every single game, but
I think we even had to take a break during the Adrian game.
We did. That's right.
To try to figure out the shot clock mishaps.
Right now, looks like we are going to have to do something with the shot clock. And it's a hard job to have, and it's also a hard job when it can be so finicky. And this gives Coach Sabidi a chance to talk to his player, Madeline Burtis, about that foul.
Yeah, and it looks like the Hornets kind of already have a game plan for this inbound.
Right.
Really just not moving around on the court, waiting for a resume of play.
I think that's just the worst as a player, to just be standing, waiting. You know,
it's almost like a time. You know, when they call those timeouts perfectly to disrupt flow, it can kind of cause that. But right now, it's not to the advantage of either team, since it wasn't really planned, and it's not like any team is getting any talk from the head coaches.
Yeah, and especially a game so early in the day, at least early for a college student maybe, can kind of lower your energy a little bit. But either way, we're back to action here, and the Hornets have the ball. Hogan now looking for Vanderstel at the top. Vanderstel takes the three. It's no good.
No good, but healthy to see from Vanderstel, right? We honestly talk about how long her range is very often, and I'm happy to see that she's taking those shots out at the three-point line instead of passing it off.
And Ava Lord loses it, but Wilkes kind of got the tip there. So staying with the Comets, and now the Comets are talking it over.
It was off Wilkes, but you can also see Wilkes kind of took a charge there.
And so the Comets going to be looking for Hatfield. Hatfield at the top of the three-point line now finds Burtis on the inside. Burtis is going to be called for the foul. A really nice savvy move there to get by Dinda. And right now, fouls are everything for the Hornets. That's going to be, I believe, their fourth, if not fifth after that. I'm not sure if it's going to change, but really, really great move.
Yeah, Burtis at the line, sitting at a 78.6% at the free throw line.
And so that accuracy continues from Burtis, and now Olivet has a 2-point lead. Hogan now finds Wilkes on the outside. believe, trying to find the foul. Nagel believes she got pushed from behind. But no call there, so the Comets now have a chance to make it a 2-possession game early on here. Comets now running their offense. And Lord is going to be called for the travel on the inside. Just got a little too excited with her feet. And
yeah, I think she was focusing a little bit too much on Vanderstel on her back. Trying to get around Vanderstel, and then kind of committed the travel there.
So Hornets with it. Hogan goes on the inside, has an open lane. Layup no good. Nagel fighting for it. And so Olivet, Nagel's going to be called for the foul, so Olivet is going to keep the ball. Nagel trying to go for the jump, unable to. And Comets just riding off this momentum that they have. Good handle from Lord. And Guzman. And now number 15, Mitchell, misses it, but Robertson now has it. Slows down the pace to Hogan. Hogan thought about shooting it. Finds Robertson on the outside for the three. Just a little long. Now the Comets, they have numbers. Finds Mitchell. Mitchell gets blocked by Vanderstel. Now Allen gets it. Finds Hogan one-on-one. Hogan misses the lay. I think she was trying to find contact. Wasn't there, so.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to Burtis for that one. Really hunting down Hogan. Hogan kind of got caught up on the fact that Burtis was just right on her back.
Now Guzman to the inside, and that's a really nice bucket from Tennant.
Yeah, really nice bucket from Tennant, especially when you have someone up in your face. Nagel doing a really good job of making herself big.
And now we got some shot clock issues again. Gonna have to allow it to reset here. And we hear it ringing for a while.
I will tell you something that I always love about the Saturday games is the family show out. I mean, it's Saturday, it's the weekend. You got a little bit more time on your schedule. The Olivet team always travels pretty well, and then you got your Kalamazoo Hornets and their families also here in attendance. So it's always nice when you got a good crowd kind of watching. A little bit more embarrassing when the shot clock is down and you got such a crowd, but
right.
You work with what you got.
100%, and you know, the family crowd might not be as loud as the school fan crowd or anything like that, but it's still nice to see a highly attended stadium here. Maybe small, but maybe mighty to some degree.
And I'll say, you stay quiet, but just wait until you get into those fourth quarter moments. You're down 1 point, you're up 1 point, whatever it may be, and then all of a sudden, it's like roaring in here. You would have thought it was some I don't even know, Staples Center.
Nice. And so, figuring out the shot clock, gonna have to watch the replay, which we have discovered is a possibility in MIAA play. When it is an MIAA matchup, they allow replays to happen, but you do have to keep in mind we only have one single camera angle here at the Hornets Kalamazoo College Stadium. So if you're a coach and you want to find a review, got to be mindful that you don't have a lot of angles like you may have at Calvin or Adrian or Hope College. So
yeah, now both teams going to take basically this opportunity as a timeout.
And just as you think they're about to take the opportunity as a timeout, they get right back on the court. And yeah.
All these pauses really breaking up flow. I mean, I feel even up here on the broadcasting booth, you feel like I'm even breaking up flow, right? I mean, it's very hard to kind of get settled into the game if you're taking all of these pauses. Something to keep in mind as about 1 minute and 16 seconds left in the first quarter, even though it's felt pretty long, maybe because of all the pauses.
Right, and so Hatfield's going to come back in for Olivet after that break, and Olivet's going to be running a zone. So Hornets might be looking to shoot here if they find the opening, and they do. Hogan shoots it. Not known much as a three-point shooter, but a scorer at that. Now the comment swinging it around. Finds Burtis on the inside, and Hogan's going to be called for the foul. Too much contact on the back.
Yeah, Hornets got to keep an eye on those fouls. They've kind of been committing quite a couple. Olivet getting all the calls they need down in the paint.
And so that's going to bring it to 1-and-1 bonus. Or, 2 shots here.
Yeah, and we talked about Burgess being a pretty confident at that line.
So that first one's going to drop. And the second one does as well. So Robertson has it now. Going to get the screen from Vanderstelt. Doesn't get her much of anywhere, though. Hogan back outside to Allen. Allen tries to find Vanderstelt, but great defense from Lord. Now, Lord on Hogan tries to get the move and just loses it. So that's going to go right back to the Hornets. Good defense from Hogan, standing tall and not committing the foul.
Yeah, and Lord right there a little upset with the call, trying to convince the officials it was off of Hogan.
And so now Allen's going to come out and Dinda back in. Robertson, shot clock is off, goes to the corner to Dinda. Dinda doesn't have a lot of room. It's no good. Lord to Guzman. Guzman for the 3, and it's good. Giving Olivet a 9-point lead, and the Hornets scrambling to get a shot off before this quarter comes to an end. Hogan's going to let it fly. It's no good. That ball goes out of bounds, and that's going to have the quarter come to an end. So the first quarter, good action for Olivet.
Yeah, exactly how you said it, especially on these last couple of seconds. Not very positive for the Hornets. Kind of seemed that they got a little antsy. They got a little kind of out of sorts, and you can blame it on the pauses. You can blame it on a lot of different things, as this first quarter was a little awkward, right? But especially in those last couple of seconds, you're going to want to look at that. If you're Ryan Clark, I mean, it's just a little bit too messy towards the end, a lot of back and forth. Looks like they tried to do a catch and shoot with Dinda, and then that didn't play out, and then more back and forth. And as you said, Olivet coming out on top, especially kind of taking reign in terms of momentum as well. We talked about that a little bit earlier, and I feel like, yeah, Olivet carrying that momentum, leading in that way. I will say, I still think the Hornets kind of maintaining the tempo, right? I've seen Olivet try to speed up play a couple of times, and when it comes back to the Hornets, they kind of slow it down, settle down the game, but hasn't been playing out in their favor all too much, not just yet.
And 2 for 9 on threes for the Hornets. Shooting a lot, but not finding the back of the bucket. So, Olivet maintains that lead. They're shooting pretty well, 40% right now, and really just doing a really great job defensively. I think that zone kind of tripped the Hornets up, and as an offense, learning how to adjust to a zone like that, going back and forth between man and zone. A team that can play multiple defensive styles at any different time is a hard team to beat. So Olivet right now, they can maintain that momentum, keep their defense rolling. They're in a really good place. But the Hornets, if they start finding the back of the bucket, they'll have a good chance to stay in this one.
Yeah, and that's a trend that you see common when the Hornets face off against Olivet. It's when one team settles in that usually kind of ends the game right then and there. So Hornets want to keep an eye on it. You can't let it slip too far. Again, most of their games, can be pretty close in terms of lower scoring games, but then there's some wins where one team will just take it by 20, by 10, whatever it may be, and that's just because they settle in really quickly. So Hornets are going to try to want to stop that, and then if you can't right here, especially at the start of this second, I think you got to take an early timeout and talk about it a little bit more.
And so Hogan finds Robertson on the outside. Robertson's going to go in. And it's a nice layup, but just not finding it right now. So Olivet with Lord at the top. Lord swings it. On the inside, the Comets have to go back out. Doesn't have any room. Tried to find Hatfield there, but Woodbeck gets it stolen from her. Now Robertson back inside, gets some room, and that's going to be a nice lay off the great pass from Hogan.
Yeah, and you got to tip your hat off to Dinda for starting off that run. Kind of breaks up the pass on the opposite side, and then you got a couple of passes, one from Hogan to Robertson, and then you got the two.
So the Comets looking to respond. On the inside, Lord with a really nice lay. Got to give her credit. A great move on the inside.
Yeah, Lord has been beat a couple of times up by the rim, and right there making her presence known.
And so that ball is going to be stolen again from the Hornets. And Dinda's going to put a ton of pressure on the ball. Now Lord's just going to let it fly. Kind of a heat check. Hatfield grabs the rebound over top of Hogan. That doesn't happen too often. Hogan may not be the tallest player, and you were right, Maya. They're going to have to take a timeout to talk this over.
Yeah, you got to take the timeout, especially after that play that you just seen, right? Kind of started off, it looked like Robertson took too much time to kind of figure out where she was going to and who she was going to pass it to. Made it really be known to the defensive side of this Olivet team, and she kind of really stared down Vanderstel, and that's when you know, hey, I got to break up that pass. Olivet does so, comes back to the Hornets side, and then gets that too. So very, very quick movements from Olivet to make this second quarter already feel tons a lot different from that first quarter. Of course, you know, luckily no shot clock stopped so far, but even then, it's just too quick. They're really now they're trying to kind of steal that control of the momentum of the tempo of everything. So again, Hornets taking the opportunity to make sure to talk that out and stop it where it is. You got to stop the bleed.
And now Hornets down by 11. Not the outcome I think we would have expected early in this game. Expected kind of a back and forth scoring game, a low scoring one, but still back and forth. And so Hornets now really, really need a bucket. And so Hogan leading this offense as she does. Gonna get the screen from Vanderstel. Finds Vanderstel on the outside. Vanderstel's gonna try to go to work on Lord, but Lord gets the tap on it. So Wilkes now. Outside to Cook. Cooks finds Hogan. Hogan's on that wing looking to drive. Now Vanderstel needs to make a move with 5 seconds on the shot clock. She does, and that's her spot. That mid-range game is deadly.
Yeah, Vanderstel, I mean, even had some time to show off her handles.
And Hatfield there, an uncharacteristic miss.
Yeah, hopefully Kazu can kind of take advantage of that.
Now Vanderstel, open lane. Ooh, gonna get called for the travel, and I mean, yeah, she caught the ball. Needed just one more dribble, 3 steps, so it's a good idea, but unable there. So now Lord trying to get on the outside of Hogan. Hogan going under the screen. Lord doesn't use it. A nice move by Lord. Ooh, and no good there.
Hi, all that work by Lord, and yeah, we're almost rooting for that one to fall.
So Hogan slows the pace. Vanderstel tries to find Wilkes on the cut. Moore's just going to let it fly, though. That one's no good. And that's going to be out of bounds. Comets there. We saw Moore drain one in the first quarter. Has been quiet since then.
Yeah, she tried to get a repeat of that 3 from the first quarter. Again, it just looks like the Hornets are a little out of sorts right now. I don't know, the chemistry a little bit off, and I mean, maybe I'm giving too much credit to the shot clock stops from the first quarter, but I do think the Hornets really tend to build their chemistry off that first quarter.
And yeah, Hornets going to be called for the foul there. You saw Cook kind of reach her hands over top, swing down on it. So Bush going to be at the line. The guard from Potterville. And that first one is no good for Bush.
Yeah, Bush sitting at a 63.6% at the free throw line.
And the second one's no good either. So Vanderstel pushing it, though, finds Hogan. Hogan just slips on it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even blame Hogan for that one. It does look like I don't know if it was her knee or her ankle that kind of just gave out on her on impact.
And good ball movement from the Comets. And Lord, just an open lane getting to work today.
A little bit of frustration coming off of head coach Ryan Clark for this Kalamazoo side.
And so Wilkes with it outside to Moore. Vanderstel at the top of the key. Trying to get inside, but isn't able to. And so the Hornets there getting drawn, called for the foul. And that is just really disappointing.
And they bring back on Robertson and Dinda, and I like this move just because it does seem when those two on the court, you see a little bit more movement from this Kalamazoo team and a little bit more production of those points.
And the Comets feeling pretty good right now. A nice pass. That's going to be a 2, but it's no good from Bush. And Hogan again at the top of the key. Robertson has a ton of room. Doesn't look to shoot there. And Dinda, of course, going to be pressured high. Now Robertson with room, looking on the inside to his Vanderstel, and that one just an easy steal for the Comets.
Yeah, and it kind of just looked like Robertson felt she was out of options right there. Wasn't going to go for the 3, and Vanderstel was the tallest on the court in terms of that area.
And Hatfield just going to pull up from the mid-range. No good. Dinda down to Robertson. Good move, and Dinda's open. Gets the fake. Goes outside, but she walked. And just didn't get the pass off in time. You keep that movement and you trip up a little bit, they're going to call it every time.
Yeah, it's a series of unfortunate events here for the Hornets as they're kind of just making these subconscious errors.
So Woodbeck inside to Bush. Bush, a really great pass to Woodbeck. Now they're going to swing. Guzman for the 3. No good. Vanderstel on the rebound. And after a good defensive possession, this would be a great time for the Hornets to start to take advantage of that. Now Hogan, a great move, open layup. That's too easy for Hogan. Gonna drop it every time.
Yeah, Hogan again, really, the Hornets really needing those 2 right there to fall after a little bit of a kind of dry period.
And a good defensive steal from Bush. Dinda with the good save. And Hogan not able to get it there. Hatfield wanted the travel to be called, And Cook's gonna let it fly from deep. No good. Robertson fights for the rebound though and gets it back. That's a great physicality from the freshman. Hogan thought about shooting it, but I think they're gonna call Olivet on the defensive foul.
So although point production isn't really there for the Hornets, I will say you're kind of seeing them come a little bit more alive. I'm seeing a little bit more movement, a little bit more want for the ball. So again, they just need to connect on that final third. They just need the ball to drop for them.
And Guzman was going to be called in the foul there. A little too physical in the paint, and the Hornets have got it. Dinda's going to let it fly from deep. And not able to get it there. Hatfield from mid-range, no good either. So, oh yeah, they're going to call the double dribble. I mean, that's just unfortunate there. Just mental errors right now.
Yeah, transition play has not really been a key point for the Hornets as of now. They still have time to settle in. They still have time to clean it up. We remind you it's only the second quarter, but with how slow this game is moving compared to their more recent games, it kind of makes you feel a little bit like, oh, the Hornets are not on their front step.
And Dinda there gets out, so Lord just wide open on the layup. And Excuse us for our silence, but we're trying to figure out what's going on with the referee and some confusion there. So gonna have Nagel come in for Cook, and the Hornets still have it, but a lot of stoppage in play in this first half with shot clock errors. Hogan, though, is wide open on the inside. No good. So the Comets have had it pretty easy defensively today. Offensively, things are rolling all in their favor as well. So Tennant tries to take it inside Hatfield now to Bush. Bush is going to let it fly from 3. No good. Vanderstelt grabs it. Hogan to the outside. Dinda lets it fly from 3. That one's good. Finally finding her stride.
Yeah, Dinda right there. Wasn't even really open in all that way. I mean, you had Allen right up on her, and still, it looks like Dinda likes those kind of harder shots.
Ooh, and so that one's going to be called on the floor. Lord goes into the contact. And Lord is a freshman coming out of Detroit, West Bloomfield, showing that she's got confidence and she knows how to get through traffic and lead this Olivet offense. So now on the inside, Bush. That's too easy for Bush. A really great move in the post.
Yeah, kind of just looked like Nagel was watching that one, so needs to be a little bit more awake in the paint.
And Dinda on the outside. Has a little bit of room, but still pressured. Robertson with it. Has to give it to Vanderstelt. Vanderstelt's going to take it in, and that's good. Ooh, they're going to call a jump there. It is good defense, though, from the Comets. It's all ball. And just more frustration for the Hornets. That's tough right there. And so clock errors right now. Shot clock not working, and
well, you can't go a whole quarter without a shot clock error.
no, nope.
It's almost uncharacteristic for
right, the character of our stadium. A lot of the stadiums really having these types of errors. And so figured it out, but Comets outside to the in. Hatfield loses it. Shoots the 3. It's going to be way short. And so Hogan now is going to slow it up. We haven't seen them really take the speed up a notch. And Dinda's going to be open on three-point line. Really great fake for a nice little mid-range, and Dinda's feeling it now.
Yeah, Dinda coming alive. You've seen the 3 from earlier, then you've seen the 3 from this quarter. And then that one was just nice, right? She took a little bit of that stutter step and then came in for a 2. Really clean movement by Dinda.
And a nice move on the inside from Tennant, but good defense from the Hornets. And so pace is still slow. Hogan's calling it out. He's going to give it to Vanderstelt. Robertson tries to get the cut. Dinda on the outside. Back to Hogan. Hogan to Dinda. Dinda for 3 again. No good. Robertson, though, is going to stay. And if Robertson didn't get called for the foul, they're going to keep the ball here.
And I will tell you, head coach Sabiti from Olivet's side, I mean, as soon as Dinda got her hands on the ball, you seen him really make an emphasis. You got to get right on Dinda. You can't give her too much room. Again, Dinda will make it work at any point of the court, so really, really tough shot for her there.
And Hogan able to find the inside. Dinda with it again. Tries to get a nice move going. She fights for it. Good save from the Comets. Comets don't have numbers, but Lord trying to get it. And now she's going to be called for the offensive foul. She tries to draw that contact, but puts a little too much into it.
Yeah, leaning on that front foot was Lord, and then you got the call in favor for the Hornets.
And so an 8-point game, Olivet leading. Hornets are slowly crawling back into this one. they get a bucket here, could lead into a great end of this quarter for the Hornets and give them a lot of momentum coming in the next half. Now Hogan really tries to get inside, but it's going to be called for the travel. Coach Clark is trying to argue for some contact in the foul, and Hogan's going to sit out until the second half. So Comets now with a chance to get a shot off with 6 seconds here. Really have to move. Guzman's got it. Guzman gonna have to take a shot. Guzman gets tipped and doesn't fall. So we've got an interesting game here now. Olivet 29, Kalamazoo 21. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, again, not the cleanest of plays from either side in the beginning. Then you got Olivet that took that early timeout, and that flipped the switch for Olivet. They were cleaner, they were moving quicker, their passes were just better, and then the shot started to fall for them. On the Hornets side, it kind of seems like the opposite happened, right? You took that timeout, and then all of a sudden, that quick and then control of tempo was starting to get lost in the play, right? So needs to be a little bit cleaner from the Hornets. I mean, even looking at the leaderboard right now in terms of points, you got Ava Lord up for the Olivet side, standing at 8 points. And then you got Taylor Dinda on the Hornet side. So Dinda also making her presence known on the court. Something uncharacteristic for this Hornet team is Vanderstel is not on the leaderboard right now in terms of point. And that's something that we talked about. Right. It being a major role in this game. Vanderstel is such a tall and valuable player, very close up to the rim, and usually she finds that path and she'll get those two wherever she may be. But tonight, really, Olivet tying her down.
And Olivet, really great job on defense, stopping Vanderstel in the paint. A lot of those turnovers have come off passes, trying to find the inside, and the Hornets haven't been able to. So at halftime, Hornets are struggling a little bit with turnovers, and a lot of those turnovers come off travels, but also trying to find Vanderstel on the inside. So credit to Olivet defensively there.
And then just a little bit more on the nuances in terms of steals. Alex Woodbeck is up there at 4 steals.
Oh, wow.
And then you got Robertson with 1, Vanderstel with 1, Dinda with 1. But if you look on that Olivet side, you got Woodbeck with 4, Lord with 3, Hatfield and Mitchell with 1 apiece. So that's another thing to keep your eye on, and maybe that can be attributed, right? We talked about how that transition play for the Hornets is just not really there yet. Well, they got a whole 15 minutes to try to figure it out before we come back for the third and the fourth quarter, where you can kind of see, are they able to crawl their way back into it? They sort of did towards the end of this quarter, right? Making their kind of closing the deficit. It was, I think they were down by 12 at some point, and then kind of closed it up to being down by 8. So something to keep your eye on when we enter that third quarter.
100% there, and I think for us, we're going to take a little break here at halftime, and we'll be back with you in about 10 minutes or so. So thank you all very much. We'll be back with you very shortly.
Well, 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 and just like that, we are back. Just under a minute left in the halftime before we get to resume play and we get to see how this one turns out again. It's been a little bit of a different start, you would say, right? It started off a little bit more shaky than what we're used to and a little slower in tempo as well. And now, well, we got 2 quarters to figure out what changes have been made and kind of what improvements can be done on this Hornet side as they're down by 8.
Yeah, and Kalamazoo is kind of looking like a different team from what we've seen all season. It's not necessarily a bad nor a good thing, just a slower pace that we're not entirely used to here and there. And we can tell their target is to find Vanderstelt in the paint and Dinda on the outside, which they've done a great job finding Dinda, but defensively right now have not been able to stay super strong in the paint and also committing some unnecessary fouls in the paint as well. And Olivet, things have been going pretty swimmingly for them defensively, able to stop Kalamazoo from finding Vanderstelt, really preventing Hogan from getting inside. So a lot of wins for Olivet at halftime that Coach Sabiti can discuss with his team. But now we're back to action. Kalamazoo might have a different game plan, and we'll see how each team adjusts.
Well, it's going to be more to bring it in to Hogan, and now Robertson. At the top is Dinda. Dinda, again, really settling into this game as Vanderstelt pushes their way in, and that's going to fall early for Vanderstelt.
There you go. That's what they've been needing to do all game. They find Vanderstelt on the inside. Good to get her started.
Yeah, well, on the opposing side, you got Ava Lord now with the ball, and again, a major component for this Olivet side. Lord going to dish it out. Trying to work her way inside is Burtis. Burtis now making a connection with Bush. Bush trying to drive, and Moore doing a really, really good job of just following Bush out, right? You've seen her really kind of keep her hands straight up. I mean, looked almost military the way that she was there.
Yeah, great defense from Moore.
Now Hogan now trying to make her way around Lord. Hogan over to Dinda. Dinda to Robertson. Robertson to Moore. Moore back to Dinda. Dinda trying to make some work now. Vanderstelt, Moore. Moore really trying to figure it out. Moore lets it fly from the 3, and it's going to come off the rim. Hogan now has a little bit of room. Back to Moore. Moore trying to get her own rebound. Doesn't fall for her, and she takes it away. Vanderstelt with a quick 2, and now you got a player down for Olivet after that. Crazy course of events there.
Yeah, big hits from both players going for the rebound. Physical game, so I think Dinda gets hit in the face. And Woodbeck as well.
And it's going to be Burtis on the floor.
Burtis, yeah, you're right.
Burtis on the floor for Olivet right now. Not something you want to see. Burtis leading in points for Olivet. A leader in points, for Olivet as of now. A big playmaker, already wearing a knee brace, but just looks precautionary again. Taking her time, still on the floor. And unfortunate to see. I will say, though, in terms of movement for this Hornet side, really, really, really quicker pace. Yeah, a little bit of some passing back and forth, and then right there it looks like Burtis just took a wrong fall.
I think you're 100% right. And as a player, you love to stay physical and be physical, but I mean, you're giving a risk out there, and a lot of injuries in the basketball season, small or large, no matter what. If you roll your ankle, you're going to have to play through it. A lot of injuries you have to play through. So good to see her get back up. She's going to be checked out.
Yeah, and even more positive to see that she was able to walk off the court without assistance. It looks to me like maybe she just landed on her wrist. Could be that, and also sometimes when you fall on your back like that, the wind gets knocked out of you.
Oh, 100%.
And it takes like a little bit more time to kind of gather your thoughts, gather your wits. Because it's like, it's like this feeling where that feeling just sucks. I mean, there's really no other way to put it as both teams kind of take a moment to huddle.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling. Now I think, unsure what is happening with the referees. I think they might be reviewing.
Where they stopped play,
yeah,
maybe, who had possession.
If the bucket counts, if the bucket doesn't count.
Could be a stop clock. I mean, a lot of possibilities here, and we're in the know as much as you are.
Yeah, we really don't have a good relay system from up here to down there.
Like I gotta get a little like an intercom system going on up in here.
Right, that would be pretty nice.
Still waiting as the officials look like they're about ready to break their own huddle. Still some conversations to be had. Well, I'll tell you what. If you're going based off vibes, that's something that Tish Love this court has. I don't know who has curated the playlist here over the years, but it has always been really, really hype here. It's always been great to just sit here and listen. So I'm always glad to take a little pause and listen. Of course, I would love it even better if it was playing behind the basketball, but
right.
Either way, it looks like they're about ready to resume play. It's going to be Bush to inbound here, trying to connect with Lord. Will do. And Hogan on Lord as per usual. Lord with a couple stutter steps. Able to find Hatfield. Hatfield goes in, and that one's not going to fall for Guzman. Hogan now passes it out to Dinda. Dinda passes it out to Robertson, trying to find a lane. Vanderstelt now. The lane was open, it looked like, for a second for Vanderstelt. Either way, Dinda now with a three that's gonna fall. Don't look now, but Dinda is on fire.
And a really big lapse in the defense. You can't keep her open.
Yeah, major movements now trying to respond with a three of their own, and that's not gonna fall for Woodbeck. It looked like she tried to create a little catch and shoot situation. Dinda in the corner, and now Hornets doing a good job to slow down play after some quick transition plays back and forth. Moore has been on the assisting side of the night. Dinda now with an open two, and just off the back rim. Very lucky from Olivet as they leave her with way too much space. Robertson doing a good job trying to knock it out of Guzman's hands. And now it falls to Bush. Bush, kind of a little bit of back and forth as Lord sends it in, and Bush looks like she takes a foul.
Yeah, and Moore gives her the contact before the ball comes, so it's going to be on the floor, but this team's trying to stay physical, but the refs not really letting it happen in this one.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but even in terms of calling the gameplay right now, it feels like I'm popcorn calling names. I'm moving quicker, right? They have me on my toes, and it kind of just gives you a little sense of how much this tempo has changed from the first and second quarter as Bush tries to go for a layup, and it was off the fingers, but it doesn't fall for her. Lord now trying to get it, and I don't think that one's going to count.
Yeah, Allen just lost it, trying to get the rebound, and trying to give Allen a role on this team. A known shooter in high school, really got a really nice shot, but unable to hold it.
Lord now gets it into Hatfield. Hatfield back to Lord. Lord at to the top there as Guzman makes it fall.
Man, that's a really nice shot from Guzman, the shooter for this team.
And now you got a whistle.
Man, another shot clock error.
Yeah, it looks like the time might just be a little bit off. Either way, good offensive kind of performances from both sides as of now, right? Hornets coming out of the half really strong. Took it a second, and by a second I actually mean only like 5 seconds for Olivet to kind of settle back into it as well, as that one fell for Guzman. And Guzman again, a newer player into the second half. Not sure if we see her too much in that first and second quarter. Either way, though, she made her presence be known right there.
And so Kalamazoo within 4 right now, and if I'm Coach Ryan Clark, foot on the gas right now. Foot on the gas. Get a quick bucket off this little break. Keep Comets on their toes.
Yeah, and don't worry about me. I mean, don't worry about the broadcasters. Move as quick as you can. I promise you, I'll try to keep up. I mean, I feel like I'm wrapping up here, so it's great, though. I love when the game kind of moves to their tempo. It looks like the Hornets are really trying to control it. In that first and second quarter, they controlled it, but they controlled it to a slow tempo, right, which was unusual for me and you to see. You're saying that's not really familiar within their game style. But it looks like they're bringing it back to the familiar as Vanderstelt inbounds to Hogan. Hogan one-on-one with Lord, trying to make some room. Makes a connection outside. And now back to the top for Vanderstelt. Vanderstelt to Robertson. Robertson trying to figure out what's her plan of attack. Allen now lets it fly, and that's not going to fall just yet. Allen with a lot of room, a lot of time just a little bit off.
That's a deep three. We see Clark, Coach Ryan Clark, really rooting for her there. That's her shot. They're going to want to keep her shooting there.
Yeah, Lord now one-on-one with Hogan. Lord, again, really trying to get around Hogan now. Finds some relief as now it's Bush in the paint. And Dinda's there to break it up. It's going to be a quick transition play as another whistle call gets called here. And it looks like even the crowd is a little bit done with this.
Yeah, at this point, it's not user error. This is just a shot clock issue. It's so hard to use, and
yeah, they're gonna take time to kind of turn everything off and turn it back on. I mean, hey, that's what I do when my laptop stops working.
Right.
So I feel like it's gotta fix the issue here. Unfortunate as both teams are trying to find their rhythm, and it looked right there like the Hornets were really starting to settle. But then you kind of have these just stops in play. I mean, that could have been a really good transition play. So unfortunate, but you gotta work with what you got here.
yeah, and that's the third time, I believe, maybe fourth in this entire game where they had to reset it, turn it back on. So it don't work this time. Man,
you know, I say turn the music back on.
I was just about to say.
Like, you know, you got to kind of offset the mood here. Obviously, a little frustrating with the shot clock. But if I'm listening to a little bit of Bad Bunny in the background, I mean, does it really hurt as much? Maybe not.
And I knew this really good DJ back home, Jim Smith, man. And, you know, shout out to him. He's probably not listening. He probably doesn't even know, but there's some pretty good DJs out there.
I'll tell you
know.
what, you'd be surprised how far this broadcast goes. I mean, I know I got some listeners out in Los Angeles, so.
Oh, okay.
You know, it could get pretty out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this, you know, basketball, and you're playing, you know, it's a normal league and stuff. And sure, in the NBA, you have background music sometimes playing while the players are playing, but kind of like, imagine like a pretty open basketball court with constant live DJ music.
I can get behind that.
Kind of like a cool, fast-paced version of basketball where it's like constant action, short games. I don't know, maybe we're cooking something here, but
yeah, and we're just gonna keep rambling off as it still looks like they're taking a time. Like, I mean, as of now, I would have thought the coaches would huddle with their teams. It just looks like this might take a second longer. And as I say that, it looks like they're about ready to restart play here. I will say, though, in softball, you know, it's really hard to, like, especially it's an open field, right? You can't really play music all that much. So in high school, I played all 4 years varsity, and I used to just sing on the field. So you got to make it work. As Hogan now here at the top. Lord gets a hand in. Now Dinda handling the ball with care, hands it off to Vanderstel. Vanderstel back to Hogan. Hogan to Robertson. And Robertson knew she was going to give it off to Dinda. Hogan with some time. That's not going to fall for two. Looked like a little bit too much. Not enough arch in that kind of shot as Hogan kind of breaks that up. Oh, and looks like Hogan was trying to get the call for the Hornets, but they're going to call it and say it's Olivet's ball.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really have an angle there.
Bush inbounds to Guzman. Guzman with a couple of transition here and another stop and play.
Oh, look at that. That's a 10-second violation, actually. That's a pretty wild.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen that.
So what happened there, you see them lose the ball on Kalamazoo's side of the court, and then they just take too long. It's as simple as that. But you don't really take into account how they lost the ball earlier. That's kind of wild, I can't lie. You don't see that very often.
All righty, Vanderstel inbounds to Hogan. A couple quick passes to get it to Robertson. Robertson now with some room. Dinda can't leave her open for too long. She'll pass out Hogan. Very familiar hands on the ball here as Vanderstel tips it out.
Yeah, you know, they're trying to find Vanderstel, and talked a little bit at halftime, kind of like this pass fake, go under, pass fake up, go top again. Just pass fakes. It's really that simple to kind of get the defense off guard.
Robertson builds in, gets the 2 and the 1. You got the crowd standing just for a chat. Robertson making it look easy right there. Difficult play.
Tough bucket.
Yeah, from a very good player. A lot of promise from this freshman.
Yeah, Robertson, whenever they need a spark, you got a lot of players who can kind of light it up from deep, but if you need someone to get inside, get scrappy, that's, reliable. You got Robertson.
It's not going to fall for Robertson just yet. So a little bit more to work with here as Olivet is driving in, and it looks like Bird is trying to kind of repeat Robertson's play there, trying to get an and one, and that doesn't fall just yet. So it's going to bring Burtis to the line without the two.
Yeah, so Burtis going to go for two, and I like how aggressive Olivet is coming off that and one.
Yeah, Burtis.
Really reactive.
Burtis a pretty good free throw shooter. That one's going to fall. She's going to have a second attempt. And also want to note, Wilkes comes in for Hogan on the Hornets side. As Burtis goes up, and that second one's going to fall. So scratch the miss, too, as she makes her free throws count. Robertson now calling a play, waiting for everybody to set. Hands it off to Wilkes. Wilkes hands it off to Allen. Allen now finds Dinda. Dinda back to Wilkes. Wilkes trying to get some movement. Dinda open, and that's just a little bit off the backboard. Robertson cleaning it up, making it look easy. Hello, Samaje Robertson.
Ooh, yep, that makes sense. And so now Hornets really have the momentum. They've cut the deficit. Credit to Robertson on that layup, and now we got a timeout. So, wow.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth. It makes you take your eyes off the shot clock, off the scoreboard. And now when you take a second and look back at it, you're sitting at 34 for the Comets and 32 for the Hornets. Well, hello, Kalamazoo, able to creep their way back into this one, only down by 2. And I got to credit the switch in tempo.
Oh, 100%.
I got to credit the switch in tempo.
100%, and I think seeing how they've been able to trust every single player on the court to score. Saw Vanderstel get early bucket. Saw Dinda get a nice bucket. Saw Hogan be really physical on defense. And then, as of recent, Robertson, I mean, it's just working.
Oh, yeah, she is creeping up there. I mean, usually I don't like to talk about too much stats before we kind of finish off the quarter, but looking at the leaders in points, you got Dinda sitting at 11. Robertson, like I said, she's creeping, right? She's sitting second with 8 points herself, so something to keep an eye on as Robertson starts to get a little bit more comfortable into this game.
And the Hornets really just taking turns dishing it to their scorers. So probably going to keep the same lineup, honestly. They've done a really great job defensively.
Yeah, it's got to be, you got to keep Dinda on the court. You got to keep Robertson on the court. Really, really good movement from them as of now. Both offensively picking up on their roles.
The Comets are going to run a press.
Vanderstel trying to find someone to connect with. Finds Robertson. Robertson with 3, and that's going to come over. A quick little turnover as they take it away from Robertson. Allen now gives it off to Guzman. Guzman with a couple of dribbles. Trying to reconnect into the paint, and that doesn't work out for the Comets.
Yeah, and good defense there for the Hornets, but a really great press from the Comets. Usually the Hornets don't have trouble breaking it, but high intensity.
Ava Lord to inbound for the Comets. Tries to find a connection. Will find one with Burtis. Burtis brings it into the paint, and now looks like it was Hatfield that gets fouled on there. Robertson kind of picking her hands up and in doubt of that call.
Yeah, and that's a tough one, especially Hatfield being guarded by 2 people and drawing the contact. Intelligent there to get the foul and drain the first.
Hatfield, a very consistent player for this Olivet team. And the only senior on the team, so someone that's trusted for this Olivet side. And very good job by Guzman to break up the pass as Vanderstel tried to connect with Wilkes, and it didn't work out.
You really have to break it here. You can't get anywhere.
Robertson now gives it a Wilkes. Wilkes try to get over the line, and she will. Drives in. Dinda, quick moves back to Robertson. Thinks about the three, doesn't do it. Vanderstel, falling back. Off-balance shot by Vanderstel. Doesn't fall just yet for her.
Yeah, and I don't mind that shot at all. I think if Robertson swings it maybe 2 seconds earlier, would have been a little bit more open for Vanderstel, but just a little tough there.
Lord now with her front foot stepping forward. Allen out to Burtis, back to Allen. And you got Guzman trying to figure out something. Almost makes it off the finger roll. Was Allen unable to. As Wilkes now on the opposite side of the court, calling some shots. Call it the chin play. All right. Quick ball movement, a bit of a fake pass from Michaela Allen. And Wilkes back with possession. Thinks about a pass. Instead gives it back out to Robertson. Shot clock dwindling down. And they call the travel on Robertson. And Robertson just confused with that call.
Yeah, and she's quick, and she knows she's quick. Sometimes you can't maintain it, though. And so lost her footing and is going to be called.
Yeah, and even right there, it looks like Robertson was so confused. I actually asked Ryan Clark what the travel was there.
Yeah.
Trying to say that she had her foot planted. Well, a little bit of time here for Olivet to think of a play as that pass is just going to go out. It was intended for Burtis. Burtis did get a touch on it, but she just couldn't handle the heat.
And you'll take those. On defense, you'll take those.
Vanderstel in for Dinda, back to Vanderstel. And trying to make some room here. Hogan now. Really good switch of direction, but looks like nothing really could happen from it. As Hogan has a handle, gives it to Vanderstel. Now with Dinda on the ball, you can't give her too much room. They won't. Vanderstel in the paint. Vanderstel tries for two, gets her own rebound, and then gets thrown off the ball.
Yeah, physicality there. Vanderstel now in a little bit of pain. And
yeah, she got, obviously, no foul call was there, but I said got thrown off the ball. I mean it. The physicality was crazy, and you seen that maybe she twisted her back a little bit, and she was holding that lower back area, able to get up by herself now.
Yeah, that's hard, and especially if you're not landing on your back, kind of just like goes through your body almost, and that's hard. So she's up.
Yeah, good to see her back up. A very important player for this Hornet side. That's going to bring back in Robertson, I believe.
Yeah, and losing Vanderstel, not the greatest thing for this team. Vanderstel is such a presence on defense and offense.
Yeah, and such a height presence too, right? Right now the Hornets playing without a couple of their tall players. At least Bauman is out as well, and so it's a little difficult. You got to play with what you got. Some movement here as they Guzman tries to get around Robertson. Burtis brings it in to Lord. Lord brings it back out to Hatfield, and Hatfield gets one.
And lots of frustration for the Hornets coaching staff as well, trying to get a lot of different types of calls, and so now something is called on Guzman.
Yeah, Guzman applying a lot of pressure on Hogan, and right there, I think it was just a little bit too much for the officials' liking. Well, either way, Moore able to connect with Hogan. Hogan brings it back to Moore. Moore finding some room. Hogan now trying to find a plan for attack. Couple passes around the ring. Robertson now to Moore. Moore trying to drive. Tries to go for a two, and that falls for Moore.
That's a really nice shot. Really nice, maintained, balanced. Really well done.
Yeah, very calm as well. Moore, really calm shot right there. as Burtis tries to drive, brings it back out for Hatfield. Hatfield attempted three, not going to fall with Hogan getting the pickup. Back in the hands of Moore, thinks about the three, she stops. I don't know, maybe I like to see the three there. Now Robertson still thinking about it. More work as Hogan gets her hands on the ball. Hogan out to Dinda. Dinda fakes a three, drives, and an awkward shot attempt there as she had a lot of bodies around her. Trying to explain herself to head coach Ryan Clark.
Yeah, and I understand trying to get that contact, and you can appreciate trying to get that contact, but right there, just a little bit out of control.
Bush now hands it off to Burtis. Burtis to Lord. Lord to Hatfield. Hatfield trying to work with Dinda and Vanderstel on her. And very good defensive work, attack team between Dinda and Vanderstel as Hogan has a handle, a couple dribbles, tries to work her way around Lord. And some good back and forth between Hogan and Lord. That's been the matchup of the night, I gotta say. Seeing them both work against each other at the top of the key has been very interesting, especially because it's been a kind of a 50-50 outcome, right?
Yeah, and as this game has gone on, it's gotten more and more physical as well. So seeing that there takes some wear and tear on your players.
Exactly, and Lord is, as you talk about wear and tear, Lord is going to step off the court for a break as Woodbeck steps on for her. Hogan trying to drive, sees Moore. Moore to Dinda. Dinda finds Robertson. Robertson trying to figure out an attack here. Now Vanderstel has to make it drop. She goes for it. It's awkward. It doesn't fall. And now Olivet trying to make a quick transition play. Burtis drives in for the two and gets it a fall.
And a really nice shot. Another really great balanced mid-range shot there.
Hogan trying to drive, gets called for the travel.
Man, a lot of travels here today for the Hornets. This is not something we're used to seeing, just slipping and sliding out there.
Couple mental errors that are costing the Hornets as it's going to be Bush to inbound. Guzman now is met by Robertson. Robertson not letting up. Good movement by Robertson around the official.
That's tough.
And they actually keep possession with the comments. I'm a little surprised with that call, I'm not going to lie. Robertson doing a really good job of getting all up in Guzman's space, picks the ball, and then kind of runs into the official. So I guess they're saying Robertson picked it off, so it was her last touch. Then it touches the official, and then so it's Comet ball.
Are they reviewing it? I can't quite tell.
I mean, I feel like you almost kind of have to. Unfortunate for the official as she got tangled up in the play.
I think they're seeing how much time is left on the clock.
Either way, I think it's going to remain a Comet ball.
Or, yeah, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Oh, okay, so 3 seconds on the clock. And that's a nice stop, though. Gets Olivet a little bit more uncomfortable, a little less time to have even the possibility of getting something here.
Bush brings it in and connects. It was an attempted shot by Woodbeck before the shot clock went off, and it was just off the center there, so that's not going to fall, and it's going to end off our third quarter. Olivet with 40, Kalamazoo with 34. Tell us what you see.
Kalamazoo, they've been doing a lot of work defensively and offensively, a lot of breaks in the action from the shot clock, from fouls in that quarter, and I think they still have a lot of work to do in the fourth, but they've got all the aspects, they've got all the people, personnel to make it happen, and although they have slowed down, I trust they'll be able to get back into this one. And for the Comets, man, they just can't miss. They've been a really, really great defensively, staying physical, which is great. If they start to call more fouls and kind of keep it from staying that physical, then Olivet might be in trouble foul-wise. But either way right now, Olivet succeeding doing what they do and really dominating defensively. Kalamazoo with 19 turnovers in this one. We haven't seen them struggle that much with turnovers in a little while, so this game going to be one to look back on, going to be one to kind of clean up the footwork, but we still have the fourth quarter to go to.
Yeah, exactly as you said it. What I want to see from the Hornets is kind of extend the first 5 minutes of that third quarter. Really good first 5 minutes from the Hornets. A good third quarter in its entirety, but specifically those 5 minutes in that third quarter, I want to see that extend that throughout this fourth quarter, which is easier said than done, but they're going to have to get it done if they want this game. Vanderstelt brings it into Hogan. Dinda to Robertson. Robertson thinking of a play. Vanderstelt now. More kind of quick offset to Dinda. Dinda back to Robertson. Hogan thought about it. Not yet. Dinda now. Robertson takes a dive. Vanderstelt hands it off, and now Robertson goes for the two. That's not going to fall.
Not a bad shot, but they weren't able to run their offense very well there. Ooh.
A pretty hard fall from Samaje Robertson. Even I had to contain myself.
Yeah, a big screen there. Getting the hip out a little too much from Guzman.
I mean, I'd be out for 2 to 3 weeks for sure. I mean.
Yeah. It's a physical game, and it's gotten more and more physical as we've gone on, which isn't necessarily surprising, but.
Lord on Hogan, giving her some room. More to Dinda. Dinda now thought she was going to connect with Hogan, but opts for Robertson. More now trying to find a way in. Finds Hogan on the outside. Robertson thought about it, and she's going to get called for another travel.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a great move, but you got to dribble the ball before you move your feet, and right there, again, this happens.
Bush brings it in to Lord. Lord now one-on-one with Hogan. Gets an attempted screen help there, and now Bush back on the ball before she hands it off. Really good play. Burtis with a turnaround jumper, and that's not going to fall. Hogan on the transition. Takes a second, gives it off to Moore. Maybe you see Hogan drive all the way in there. Dinda with some room. Still opts to go to Robertson. Dinda again. Thought about it, doesn't go for the three. Now Hogan's going to go for the three, and that's going to fall.
Ruby Hogan with the three. We don't see it too much, but good confidence. She's been a little quiet in this game.
Quick move around movements, but met with 2 tall players as Vanderstelt and Moore team up on Woodbeck. Hogan thought about a second three and met with Woodbeck in the paint. And you got all of maybe the Hornet crowd saying, you got to look at that one twice.
Oh, you love this. I mean, both sides just kind of going at it. Both fans kind of going at it with these calls. So going to get called there. She's going to have a couple at the line.
Hogan, a chance with 2, I believe, here. First one kind of rolls around the rim and comes back out. She's going to want that one back. Second attempt, she takes a dribble. Second one also doesn't fall. Moore is there for the rebound, but Bush breaks it up. Dinda trying to get it away from Bush, doesn't work out. Bush connects in the paint with Mitchell, and that doesn't fall for Mitchell. Hogan trying to make something quick happen. She stops, gives it to Moore. Dinda now to Robertson. We've seen this before. Robertson trying to find a way in. Finds Vanderstelt. Vanderstelt met with 3. Has to find some room to breathe. As Moore makes it fly.
Woo! We're all tied up.
Look at that. I mean, just really clean from Sophia Moore. I mean, really waking up. Trying to respond with a 3 of their own, but is unable to, as Allen is just a little bit off.
Yeah, and I don't think that was the play the Comets really wanted there. Trying to get a quick response, but Now Kalamazoo might be able to find the lead here.
Vanderstelt thinking about it. Finds her way to Hogan. Hogan with a lot of room. She just goes for the three and drains it.
And where has this been all season? Look at that. It's good for Hogan.
And that's going to cause an immediate timeout after the Hogan three. I mean, just phenomenal to see as this Kalamazoo team wakes up. Hello, good afternoon. It's Saturday. I mean, you can't get too lazy here. Everybody's up and at 'em. I mean, just really good. I mean, tell us what you see. There's a lot going on. I'm not even sure how you describe it.
And number one, shots are falling. Number two, the confidence on offense and defense for the Hornets. I mean, they're taking their time on offense, which we haven't seen nearly as much, but when Hogan starts to push the pace off those rebounds, it catches the Comets off guard, and that's where they've been able to get those open shots is patience, excellent passing, and open shots. Too many open shots, and the Comets are finally paying for it.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. Transition plays have been really key in this fourth quarter, especially with Hogan at charge of them, right? You talk about how quick she moves from defense to offense, and that has been really showing out against the Comets here. The Comets have to come up with an answer. They got to break up the play. I mean, they were able to do it, I think, once or twice, but they got to make it a little bit more consistent because one thing about Hogan is that once she finds that key, once she finds that answer, she's just going to continue to get at it. She's going to continue to open that door and just exploit all of the points that she can out of that area.
It's also really good to see Moore kind of take a role on the court, scoring-wise. I mean, really great defensive player. Got a really great-looking jump shot as well. And it's good to see her shoot it more. I mean, it looks great every time she shoots it, and some really great shot selections today that have fallen.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, especially right now. I mean, Moore playing a really big factor in everybody waking up on the court. It's going to be Ava Lord on the ball for Olivet as she gives it off to Hatfield. Broken up by Vanderstelt. Vanderstelt finds Hogan. Hogan trying to make another quick move here. Hands it off to Dinda before Dinda gives it right back. Hogan calling some plays. Moore now. Dinda again trying to get some help with a screen. Doesn't work out. Robertson at the three line. Moore thinks about Dinda. Dinda drives in instead. And now Hogan is thinking about driving. Moore with a quick three. There you go. Sophia Moore is just silencing the Olivet bench right now. Whew.
What a bucket in crunch time here.
I mean, usually I'm the one going, woo. And I feel right there I had to contain myself.
I know.
Sophia Moore, hello.
Ooh.
That one's going to fall for Lord. So nice little response there. It's not a 3 for 3, but hey, Moore really, really making it count.
And credit to Moore finding these shots. 11 points right now for her, but give credit to Lord after that to stay collected and really able to score. Lord's been quieter, and so I think Comets might start looking for her a little bit more. Hatfield also been a little bit quieter in the second half. Hasn't played a whole lot in this quarter, just got subbed in. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what the Comets' game plan is to respond to all these made shots. I mean, Hornets can't miss.
That's what I'm saying, and I got to say, right now, Olivet, I mean, usually you're tasked with just answering to one player, right? Whether it's Hogan, Vanderstelt, whoever it may be. Right now, they're tasked with answering to Moore, Dinda, and Hogan, leading this quarter in points. I mean, really, Sophia Moore with 11, Taylor Dinda with 11, and then you got Ruby Hogan with 10. You got to answer to it all.
100%, and off this timeout gives both teams a good chance to reset, figure things out. And one thing the Hornets are going to have to do is figure this press out. They got to get through this.
Well, it's tasked up to Vanderstelt. She finds someone to inbound to. As usual, connects with Hogan. Hogan gives it back, passes it over Lord, and now looks like they're playing monkey in the middle there with Lord there. continuing forward. Robertson out. You got Dinda. Moore. There you go. Hogan trying to drive, and that's going to get broken up.
That's a good block there from the Comets.
Yeah, you got really great players from the Comets. I keep mentioning Ava Lord has been a playmaker for them, but they just got to connect a little bit more. That doesn't fall just yet, as Tennant is not able to make the 2 fall for the Comets. Hogan. Dinda tries to find Vanderstel. Vanderstel keeps her hands on it. Oh, it just misses the shot. Lord driving on the opposite side. A lot of time, a lot of space, and that's going to be too far out for Drew Allen.
Yeah, the Comets really need to recollect on offense after the few misses.
Hogan now thinks about her own 3 and just off the back rim, but Moore's there trying to clean it up. It won't fall for her. It's going to be Burtis to give it all the way forward to Hatfield.
Oh,
Nothing
man.
yet, and it's just been unfortunate for the Comets.
You just can't miss those, and Hatfield always makes those. Very surprising.
Dinda gives it off to Hogan. Hogan to Robertson. They were trying to find Vanderstel, but she was a little tied up by Allen in the paint as Dinda drives and almost gets it a fall. On the opposite side here, Lord now trying to get the work done herself. Gets the foul call she wanted. Draws contact from Vanderstel.
And that's the modern game of basketball. Lord knows it. Getting inside, drawing the contact, you're going to be called for the foul. Got to earn it at the line, but still, when you have 2 people on you and you're getting the contact, it's still a foul at the end of the day.
Yeah, Lord doing all the work to keep it close. I mean, really, really such a great player. Style, too. I'm liking the basketball shoes on this Olivet side.
Yeah, I like them, too, actually. They got some good shoe game.
No, I actually came in here. I got these Angel Reese new kicks, too. I mean, I got to wear them for basketball.
Those are pretty tough, I can't lie.
Robertson, excuse me. As I was looking at the little interaction between Robertson and Guzman there. But it's going to be Lord that makes the first one drop, and now the second one falls for her as well. Well, I said that she was consistent. Robertson.
Oh, nice pass.
Yeah, really good passes there. Robertson again. And Hogan trying to find an answer. Dinda now trying to find some relief. Gives it a Moore. Moore back to Robertson. Robertson thinks about a pass. Steads hands it off over to Hogan. Hogan, they got to get something up. You got 3 seconds on the shot clock. Dinda with an awkward kind of attempted shot there, but draws the contact.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of the same thing. You're going up for the shot, you draw the contact, and it might not be the cleanest looking shot in the world, but still a shot at the end of the day.
Dinda now makes her first one drop.
And Dinda's really coming into a role on this team. We know she was a shooter, but really now reliable scorer.
Dinda again, and that's just off the mark as Vanderstel picks up the rebound. Now on a bit of a tug and pull with Kaylee Bush. It's going to be Bush to inbound for the Comets.
And it's getting a little scrappy out there. I mean, interactions between players. I don't know if you're seeing it, but late game, it's getting a little heated.
Ava Lord, the player you are for this Olivet team as she drives, gets, I was going to say gets the 2, but the spin on the ball was just not in her favor.
I mean, she's just tough. That's all it is, getting in the paint.
I gotta say, she's really, really carrying this Olivet team in this fourth quarter. She has 12. Lord with an attempt here. A little bit off the mark. She gets her second. Takes a moment to set. And that second one is going to be good, so gets one of the two there, helping out the Comets any way that she can.
And the Hornets going to want to score here to make it a two-possession game.
Vanderstel connects with Hogan as per usual. Hogan trying to get her way over to the other side of the court. Very cautionary of Ava Lord. Game respects game, you could say. Robertson passes it to Vanderstel. Vanderstel to Hogan. Hogan trying to find a plan of attack. Robertson at the ball again, drives, and that's going to fall for two. Samaje Robertson with a beautiful drive into the paint. And now it looked like almost, I'm going to call it an interception. As Dinda gets her hands on the ball. Thought about it more now. Moore kind of spins around, gets it to Vanderstel. Vanderstel gives it to Hogan, and I'm pretty sure they're saying a hold, right? Kind of got that thumb up and kind of telling everybody to set up.
Good screen.
Dinda from deep. Just a little bit off. But there you go. The cleanup by Ruby Hogan. You look at her in disbelief from time to time. Really, really good defense now as Lord is not able to get up there for the two.
Everything is working for the Hornets. Just have to keep riding off this energy.
Moore now. Face to face with Bush. Hands it off to Hogan. Hogan to Dinda. Dinda with an attempt at three. That's off the mark. And then Hogan tries to keep it in, but they're going to say ball is out. And Bush is going to be given the opportunity to inbound for the Comets.
Yeah, and so Hogan's going to take a little break here with a minute left in this one.
We got the Hornets up by 6. And as you mentioned, a minute left as Bush takes her time. And Wilkes kind of gets in between the pass intended for Burtis. They're saying, okay, as of now, they're saying possession to the Comets, but
they're going to review it.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at the review.
No, not at all.
I like a good little review, especially with a minute left.
And we'll see what happens. I mean, the one camera in here, and that's a pretty good angle we've got from this point of view on that. So
how would you feel like we're watching the game the whole time? Imagine if they just made it up to like a vote between like official, like people working the game, like who's seen it go out, raise your hand, who's seen it stay in.
Right.
Which player was that'd be wild.
That would be pretty funny. And I'm gonna pull back on my screen here. Possibly the replay that the officials are seeing, because it was pretty close. And I think I'm a little too far behind.
Yeah, again, a lot of good movement from both sides of the court, but it just feels like this Hornets side has woken up. Really, I mean, just phenomenal play. But you gotta tip your hat off to Ava Lord from the Olivet side. I mean, I'm just gonna keep calling her out because she has just been making it move.
Yeah, I'm looking at the footage here. It's pretty hard
close,
to see.
Right?
I'm gonna put it in slow-mo for myself. And let's take a look here. Ooh. It's pretty close, and honestly.
It looks like it deflected off Wilkes, but then maybe off of Burtis' finger.
Yeah, I mean, Burtis' arms are flailing back towards the sidelines where the ball went. And I think it's pretty close.
What they're looking for is a change in direction in terms of the ball.
Right. Oh, yeah. I think that's out on Burtis, but I'm not too sure. You know, if it's inconclusive, they can't call anything.
Exactly. You need something that says 100% it was off of Burtis. More conversation between the officials, waiting for the official call. The vibes don't let up here on Tish Loveless Court. I hope you're enjoying this as much as we are.
Yeah, and this time we've gone a pretty good ways without the shot clock having any troubles. I don't want to jinx it, but it's been a pretty good. And now the ball is going to go to the Hornets.
There you go. I mean, positive after positive for this Hornets side right now.
Wow, modern day of basketball here on the Hornets court.
Yeah, you can see kind of Vanderstelt still.
I think that's the first successful review ever.
Yeah, Vanderstelt, I wanted to mention Vanderstelt still holding her back a little bit as a foul's going to get called. Yeah, it's going to be Drew Allen. Draws the foul. As Vanderstelt is set to inbound. Vanderstelt trying to find Hogan. Does, even with Lord on her back. And then Lord is going to foul Hogan. Brings Hogan up to the line.
So got a foul, of course, in this one, and drains both of these, really lets the Hornets be comfortable.
Hogan kind of in disbelief of that first one. You've seen her kind of put her hands on her face.
Yeah, but still, if you make this one, it's a 3-possession game.
Hogan, second one is also not good as Moore gets the rebound, and they're going to foul on Moore.
Oh, they're going to call a timeout, actually.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Just assuming the foul, as it looked like Olivet's game plan right now is just foul until you get some good possession. Either way, a timeout, giving both teams an opportunity to think it out. You got 50 seconds on the clock. You got the Hornets still up by 6, so a two-possession game at least.
Yeah, and a really great rebound from Moore. Really, at least in the second half, has been the difference maker, not only in shots made, but some of those rebounds, some of those defensive plays, standing tall. I mean, this is the Hornets team that we know. It's the Hornets team we have seen in successful games, at least for them. And the Comets, I mean, they've also had themselves a pretty solid game statistically and just as a team, but starting to lose track of what they had early on.
Definitely agreed here. As they're coming out of the timeout, again, you got the pretty cemented 5 for each team right now, right? Kind of like their highest point producing 5. As Dinda inbounds to Vanderstelt. Vanderstelt runs out of room, you might have thought, but then gets the foul call.
Man, that must have been close because from our angle, it looked like it was out.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering how close the bench sits to the line. I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes. Either way, Vanderstelt with an opportunity for 2 as she's up on the line. Drains the first one. So now it's going to be a 3-possession game. Goes up for the second, and that one falls as well. So the lead grows for the Hornets, and the time dwindles out for the Comets.
Yeah, and the Comets, if you want a chance at it, you got to get down as fast as you can and just shoot a 3, maybe try to draw a foul, but you take too much time.
Well, Lord going up against Robertson right there, trying to get the work done herself. Looked like she was trying to drive. And she's going to win the battle against Robertson as Robertson gets called for a foul, a defensive foul. It's going to be Hatfield, the lone senior on the team with the ball. Hands it off to Lord. Lord goes for the 3, and that's not going to fall. 30 seconds. Wilkes trying to foul right now. And Burtis is going to get the foul call here. I was trying to say the whole time it just looked like they were trying to get a foul call.
So Moore now to the line.
Moore with an opportunity for 2. Takes a couple of dribbles. Really solid night tonight as she drains the first one. Another opportunity here. And the second one is going to fall as well.
Nicely done.
Hatfield with a quick shoot, and that's not going to fall for three. Kind of wish they would have taken, I mean, it's because they're running out of time. It's so hard.
It is.
It's so hard because you want a clean shot off, but you can't get it there.
Yeah, this game is really flip-flopped. I mean, the Hornets in this quarter alone have outscored Olivet by 16 points. I mean, just a complete change in what we've seen, and fantastic job from the Hornets. Also a new season high for Sophia Moore.
Hello. I mean, I kept, you know, my favorite thing is to say hello to players that are just blowing up the court right now. And Sophia Moore, I mean, you really got to pat her on the back. She is on fire.
And, you know, maybe we'll see more from Moore in the rest of this season. This could be a good confidence booster because, man, when she's on fire, she's on fire.
Well, you got about 13.4 seconds on the clock. Kalamazoo maybe trying to get one more. Looks like they might just dribble out. Robertson now. Robertson gives it back to Wilkes, and that's going to pretty much do it here on Tish Lovelace Court. There's your final buzzer and your final score on this Saturday afternoon. Official end time at 2:54 p.m. Olivet drops to Kalamazoo, 45-55. What a game. I mean, started off, I mean, you know what? Tell us what you saw. Tell us what you saw throughout the game, and then maybe I can close this out with some stats.
Yeah, and the progression of Kalamazoo, every single quarter kind of finding their stride a little bit more and more. And then finally in that fourth quarter, everything was flowing. Shots were falling on their home court. Really just incredible job as a team working together. Not necessarily one person we can highlight scoring-wise, but as a team, they've just all trusted each other. A lot of passing and assists. Hogan today has 5 assists and found multiple different players to have it. Dinda with 12, Hogan with 12, Moore with 13, Robertson with 10, and Vanderstelt with 8. I mean, you add them all up, there you go.
That's your 5 players right there on the court.
And so a really great job in that way. And Olivet, I mean, they showed what they can do in the first half. They were on it. And Lord also having a pretty good day. One of the players on this team they can rely on to score when they need her most, but really just kind of lost track of their game plan in the fourth and just weren't able to keep the trend going.
Yeah, and let's just look at this storyline, right, from the first quarter to the fourth. So in the first quarter, Olivet outscored Kalamazoo 19-10, and it felt dreadful in here, right? I mean, it just felt like everything was just a little bit off for the Hornets. Then you go into the second quarter. The Hornets actually outscored Olivet, but just by 1, so it didn't feel too productive of them, right? Especially because they were still down pretty bad. And then you enter the half. You come out of the half. You got the third quarter. Kalamazoo outscores Olivet 13-11. Then the floodgates open in the fourth quarter. Kalamazoo scoring 21 and leaving Olivet with 5. That you need to circle. That is a quarter you want to look at as one of like your better quarters. I mean, really good offensively, defensively. You talked about leaders, right? The point distribution right now for the Hornets is just really nice. Really, the player you got to tip your hat right now for Olivet, I mean, for me, it was Ava Lord. Ava Lord creating a lot of opportunities. She led in points, 13 on the day, and then Hatfield just under. Burtis, another really good player for Olivet, right? Coming up with those plays, driving in the paint. And then really the standout player, I think, for the Hornets and the way, I'll say 2, that really brought some spark into the team. It's going to be Taylor Dinda and Sophia Moore. I feel like the way that they were kind of building up play, and then they kind of woke up when the rest of the team was pretty silent, they were up and running. That fired up Ruby Hogan, who, you know, as soon as Hogan lights up, it's pretty much game time right there. Right. But really, really positive threes, too. The 3-game woke up. I mean, just so many positives on the day. No better way to kind of start off, or maybe, start off. I mean, it's still pretty early on the Saturday afternoon, but start off your Saturday. I mean, is there anything else you want to touch on?
I mean, no. Again, you said it, a fantastic day for the Hornets shooting-wise, one of their better shooting days in general. And I think what you take out of this as head coach Ryan Clark is you've got a very capable team who can start to rack up the wins at home especially. And with such a tough MIAA conference this year, you got to take everything you can as a win. And today, actually pulling it through, it's really satisfying as a team. That's all I've got for you, though.
Yeah, 100% hear you. And my final sum up, I got to say, you got to hand it off to tempo. The tempo switch up from that first and second quarter to that third and fourth quarter was major. But that's pretty much going to sum it up for us here on Tisch Lovelace Court in Anderson Athletics Center. Final score was 55 Kalamazoo Hornets and 45 Olivet Comets. I'm Maya Pasillas.
I'm Quentin Bowers.
And this was Kalamazoo Athletics. We'll see you guys in the next one.